Good morning. Welcome to the LangShow. I'm Annette Lang. The show is about life with a side order of fitness. I was talking to a woman who saw me training somewhere in the park, and we're gonna meet once this week to see if we like each other and maybe work together. I talked to her about her previous training experiences, and she worked with a trainer, and she said, "Do you know those foam, those roller things? Well, I hate that stuff." And she didn't say stuff. Anyway, I said, "Are you talking about doing exercises on the styrofoam roller where you lie down on it and do like balance exercises? Or are you talking about using the roller for self-myofascial release, self-massage?" And she said, "Yeah, that's what it is." And she went off about how she didn't like that. The trainer that she had worked with felt so strongly that she incorporate that, and she made her do it, and asked her to do other things that this person really didn't like, had no interest in. And I know as a trainer, it's my job to balance what you want and what you need. And when it comes to a barrier where, for example, your knee hurts because your IT band is so knotted up that we can't get any further, then it has to be addressed. But it's a very delicate balance with what I'm going to ask you to do, because the worst case scenario just happened. She stopped training with that person. So when you're thinking about your own habits and activities, first of all, if you're paying money for somebody to help you, then you have a right to say. And I just wish, obviously I don't know the relationship, but it's just a thought on communication that we need to have with each other. And did the trainer explain the pros and the cons, and what would be the potential downside if she didn't do this? And so I just bring that to mind to you because number one, if you do work with somebody, hopefully they are really spending a lot of time thinking and weighing these options. And number two, maybe we as fitness professionals can be better at thinking, can I pull back on this a little bit, or give another option instead of, yes, you must do this. So anyway, I'd like to talk to you about two examples regarding my parents and what that means as far as our lives. My parents were born in Hungary, Germans, but born in Hungary, and so at the end of World War II, all the German-speaking people had to get kicked out. They got relocated to Germany. It was really horrible experiences, and then they came to America in 1955. So my father did manual labor for what, I don't know, 50 years, 45 years, had his own, small business, was a wonderful mason, built beautiful homes. And anyway, so when he retired at 65, he didn't do a lot of other activity for a while. He was still cutting wood when we lived upstate. But anyway, my point is he likes to sit and watch soccer. He loves watching soccer. So a lot of times I would give him a hard time, like, I'd say, "Bah, you got to get out and walk more. You got to be more active. Do your squats while you're sitting there on the chair." Because he would be very active and walk a few miles a day for his exercise. He would do his deep knee bends, he called his squats. He would do some upper body stuff. He would go fishing once a week. He actually went bowling for quite a while. And so one time I was telling this story in a workshop because I was telling the trainers, it is really bad. Now we're finding out that these younger people who go to the gym every day but still sit the rest of the day, that's really not good, and it doesn't counterbalance the negative effects of sitting too much. So I was telling the story about my father, and I said, yeah, my father is 85, and at the break, this trainer came up to me and said, "Your trainer is 85, your father is 85, he likes to sit and watch soccer." And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "And your dad did manual labor for his whole life?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Let the guy sit. Let the guy sit." So I just bring this up to you because, as I've said in the other shows, even if you are sitting right now, just to get up and do a couple of squats or movement or add more walking to your everyday life would be awesome. Another story I want to tell is about my mom. So my mom raised 4 kids and was a stay-at-home mom, worked her butt off. We had a wonderful, deliciously cooked meal every day for dinner, which we joke about. We probably ate in 9 minutes, from soup to the hot meal and probably never said thank you or anything, but I digress. So my mom has these heavy German cooking pots and pans, and she's cleaning her house, washing windows and stuff. So she's strong, relatively speaking. And I remember one time, one of my clients, who at that time was probably in her low 40s, she decided not to go back to work after her kids were born. So she was a stay-at-home mom, but had considerable help. And I would say probably did not do much cooking and grocery shopping. And I'll never forget one time we were talking about upper body exercises, and she brought up how it seems like her upper body doesn't get stronger very easily or very quickly. And I feel like it's important as a trainer to always bring attention to those kind of statements. In other words, I said, well, do you want to work on that? Do you want to change that? Is there something that I'm, missing in my communication with you? And she was like, no, I just think it's interesting. I do so many upper body exercises. And I said, but really, we don't. I mean, yeah, you do the exercises, remember, activity, leisure, and then true exercise. But the rest of your week, you don't probably do much of anything with your upper body. So I went home and I told my mom, I said, Ma, you're freaking 78 years old, and you definitely use your upper body more than any of my personal training clients who exercise with me twice a week. So again, activity, exercise. So, that's why it's not ridiculous that we have to do this kind of stuff. It's not ridiculous that you go out and you buy a $10 band and you do shoulder presses, because we don't do that in everyday life. You can change that in your everyday life if you want to. Add more of the cooking goulash and lifting those pots and pans and cleaning your apartment, and you won't have to do the exercise so much. If you'd rather hang out than work out, my favorite bartender exercises for you. Come on, get up and do one set of one of the exercises.